Hey, it's John Lee Dumas of EO Fire, and it's the Entrepreneurial You, the show for dedicated and passionate Caribbean entrepreneurs seeking daily inspiration, brought to you by author, speaker, and award-winning entrepreneur Heneka Watkis-Porter. You must be prepared to ignite.
Hello, and welcome to the Entrepreneurial You podcast, where we help you unleash the entrepreneurial spirit in you. I am your host, Heneka Watkis-Porter, and if you're new here, this podcast has been around since 2017, and now we are in 2023. Yeah, that's where we are. Yes, that's where we are. So it's been a minute that I've been doing this podcast. So a warm welcome to all my first-time listeners and to our dedicated listeners from way back when. Big up on yourself. You know that you are the heart, soul, and everything of this podcast. Now, last week, my guest was my friend, longtime friend, Kemal Brown, the visionary force behind the Digita global group of companies. His influence extends beyond boardrooms and corporate landscapes. He is a thought leader and sought after consultant. So if you've not listened to that episode, you need to go back and check it out, right? After this one, of course. Now, today we have a fascinating guest who epitomizes the harmonious blend of technology and creativity. But as you know, before we tell you who will make the big reveal and, get into the meat of the matter, gratitude is a must, right? So let me thank my sponsor who has been with me since inception, and that is the folks at the Jamaica Stock Exchange. So let's hear a word from them.
We needed to raise capital, but our experience with local financial institutions was that they were cautious and slow to act, and interest rates were far too high. We had real concerns about financing our business through outside equity investors and the possibility of interference. Could we get a fair valuation for our business? We had our own ideas about the business and its value. Should I go the traditional route of bank financing, or should I try the Jamaica Stock Exchange? So we made a call and experienced transformation of our business through conversations. I'm John Mafood, CEO of Jamaican Teas, and we're listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Give us a call today at 876-967-3271 to begin your transformation through conversation. We want to see your company listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Welcome back. My guest today is a content marketing consultant, educator, and entrepreneur. And he joins us to share his insight and experiences at what I call the crossroads of innovation, from founding Binge Island, a media production agency, to co-founding the Ubuntu Creative Arts Project, the UCAP. His journey is an inspiring tapestry of technical prowess and creative vision. So without further ado, let's make welcome Brian Lawrence. Welcome, Brian.
All right, Heneka. I am going to call you to introduce me to every room that I walk in. I love that introduction.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it, right? I aim to please. All right. So we're going to be talking today about navigating the intersection, bridging technology and creativity with, of course, Brian Lawrence. But before we get into all that good stuff, let me just tell you, Brian, it's really fantastic to have you here. Number one. So with your diverse computer science and media production background, you've successfully merged the analytical and the artistic. What would it be if you had to describe your professional journey in a metaphor?
Whoa. That's a tough one. It's been a rocky road. To say the least.
Rocky road, right?
I'm on a very, very rocky road.
That, as an entrepreneur, we all can understand. So expound a little bit on it.
Just taking it back, from coming up through school and being so interested in different things. So my father is very technical, mother is very creative. So, seeing both of them growing up. So you mentioned, both the technical side and the creative side of me and the businesses that the organizations that I run. I couldn't help but blend both of those, sides. Also, I am the middle child, so I got like the perfect blend of both of my parents. So coming through school and being interested in both of those, I saw opportunities in both. I did other subjects that would have made you think that I was going to be an engineer, but at the same time, outside of school, I was doing a lot of creative stuff, like music, did graphic design and video production when I got to school, UTech. Later on, I saw where there were a lot of systems and technical processes in the creative sphere. And so I started to tap into that because those started to pique my interest. And I've always been into business, which is there's a science and an art to it. I mean, as you know, and from all of the persons who you've spoken to on this podcast, you can see that there's always a science and an art to running business and to doing the thing. So you know with all of that came its challenges. So I did mention a rocky road earlier. Trying to blend the two, it was not easy. So trying to decide between software development, which is where I started my career, and then moving over into production, just media production, graphic design, video, which was still technical in a sense, but more so creative. And then straddling that corporate line. So moving from more startup and entrepreneurial endeavors to having to navigate corporate and not only look at what I want to produce, which was so there was a lot of tension there, which is where part of the record came from, and then being introduced to marketing, digital marketing, in 2015, which is when my entire marketing journey started. So that is the background. I'm not sure how if I don't want to jump the gun, so I kind of wanted to want to lay out you asking the other questions that you're going to ask. But that is the background that I'm dealing with, technical, creative background, and then got introduced to marketing in 2015, and then the rest is history, and we can go through the history as we go along.
Right, and that is a solid foundation that you've laid for us, and so now I want to ask that duality of expertise, right? So you possess this Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, and you have right now, since you've started in marketing, in media, you have a strong foundation in media production. So how has this unique combination shaped your approach to solving challenges for the clients that you work with at Binge Island?
So, funny enough, a lot of the clients that I have at Binge Island now, the bulk of them have been with for years, working on the outside, and because I'm looking at two different spheres or two different sides of the problems that they have. So they would come to me for one thing, and let's say graphic design, or video, editing, and because I have experience in software or web, and I know that they need a platform to push out their videos or their content on. I could also tap into that and then help them to either advise them on how to design it or end up designing it, because at Binjana we built a number of websites as well for people that are still up and running now. So having the multiple sides of both creative, technical, business, and marketing. It allows me to get a broader view of what our clients want, a better understanding of what they actually need, and then being able to, and that allowed me to communicate, tie all of them together and communicate a solution that works for them, something that they probably didn't even know that they needed, that they can use.
All right, so now we want to talk about what really is Binge Island, number one, and then just take us back to the inception of Binge Island and what inspired you to start this full service media production agency, and just we talk about this evolution over time.
Awesome. So Binge Island is a media production company based here in Jamaica. We specialize in web design, web development, and video production, and we run our service on a subscription basis. So people sign up with us, they pay us a retainer, and then they get unlimited, web design and video production. We host our websites. Landing pages. We post-produce a lot of video. And if they are in Kingston, specifically in Jamaica right now, because of capacity, then we can also help with the live production of their videos. So whether it's a video podcast, interview, docu series, event, so we can help with that as well. So that's what Binge Island is. What led to Binge Island is that I have, from as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to invent or create or make something coming up. I mean, you'd said that that's one of the entrepreneurial traits of me. I was introduced to entrepreneurship when I was 14. I was in grade 9, and I saw that you could own your own business, and I was like, "What? You can't do that?" I was like, okay, I want to do that. I wasn't sure what I was going to do it in yet, but I was like, okay. Lo and behold, I started a number of media businesses because I had a photography business in school, I had a tutoring service, coming into university, and I was doing freelance graphic design. I was doing consulting, but I was consulting. And then throughout my career, like that kind of developed. So I started doing one-off jobs. And fun fact, this is actually not the first media business or media agency that I've attempted to build or that I've built. There were a number of other ones before. I think there were about 2 or 3 others, but it wasn't the right timing, for any of them. And then also a couple of them I tried to bite off to, much more than I could chew. So with all of that experience now, last year, 2022, I, decided that I was going to go again, you know. And if there's anything, about entrepreneurs is that we are willing to take a beating, willing to take the risk and like jump out again and again and again.
Nobody else gets beaten up as we do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke about going back to the rocky road from earlier. So last year, 2022, I decided, you know what? I am still in my 9 to 5, but I'm going to relaunch this business. With all the experience I have, I'm going to take it and then like package it, and I'm going to start focusing on a specific thing this time. Take the best thing the thing that I'm best at. So in this case, it was web and video. I said, all right, I'm going to take the freelance clients I have. I'm going to reach out to them, tell them that I'm officially starting this company, and I am going to pull them on as clients. All of them agreed. All of them were fine with it, and registered the company. And now we are going on. I mean, we hit a year. It's been a rocky start, but it's been a solid start. So that is how Binge Island kind of came to be. Um, yeah, that's what we do, who we are, and what we're about.
Well said, well said. So let's move into now the Ubuntu Creative Arts Project, right? So as the co-founder, you're obviously deeply involved in this creative initiative. How does UCAP contribute to fostering creativity, right? And what role does technology play in this ecosystem?
So the UCAP, the Ubuntu Creative Arts Project, it was founded. So myself and actually my sister, who is the CEO of the UCAP, Catherine Lawrence. She had always had this vision of giving back to the creative community. Helping young people who had some kind of struggle when it came to breaking into the creative industry, and actually building a sustainable career out of their creative endeavors. And I have the same passion to help young people because I've done a lot of, every chance that I get, I try to teach or I try to, inform or get them on the same page. So she started UCAP, I came on board and I said, no man, I'll help with, upkeep and running it and, and putting it up. And so we've run a number of initiatives kind of push that process. So one of the first ones that we run through the UCAP is we give a number of grants to high school, primary prep school students, and now university students to scholarships and grants for school, different varying amounts, just to help them with creative fields. So they have to be in a creative field, whether it's fine arts or media arts or whatever aspect of art that you're in. And then also we do a monthly artist feature on our website, the ucap.org, where we feature and we feature an artist, any of them that register to kind of get featured and get an interview with us. That's similar to what you're doing now with the Entrepreneurial You. We give them that kind of exposure to help them to build their career and build confidence in themselves in their career. And then our latest initiative, which we've run the first one of, is the Summer Creative Intensive. That was birthed from one of the grant recipients who wanted to give back to the creative community by running a summer program that helped artists, young artists to deal with the CSEC and CAPE exam. Give them an intensive that they can run through to help them better prepare for it. Lo and behold, that transformed over a few years into a week-long intensive program that they basically a boot camp that takes on high school students and helps and introduces them, like really introduces them to what is going on in the creative industry. Not just school, but holistic development of them as an artist. Building the profile, building the brand, the creative websites, they created their own logos. They even pitch themselves. And they got the headshot. They got headshots done for most of them. It was the first time that they had gotten a professional headshot done. Put together the resume. So we wanted to focus on the holistic development of them. So we signed up 10 students and three teachers, three teachers that came with them, and it was a great experience. We enjoyed helping them, and they also, we still talk to a number of them to this day. They reach out to us for help and to come to schools and interact with other people in the classes and so on. So that was good, and we're running it again next year. So that is what the UCAP does. We're all about the holistic development of young creatives, right, no matter what sphere you're in. To your point about technology and what role that plays in everything that we're doing, here at the UCAP and also at Binge Island, you'd be hard pressed to find an industry now that has not been seriously impacted by technology. Computer technology, just advancements. Technology. The whole purpose of technology is to make your life better. To make some process that you're doing better. And so, with the prevalence of AI and automation and all of these additional tools, even, us right now recording the podcast, even the tools that you're using. Now, years ago, it was more difficult. Now it's easy. It's as easy as just turning on, just us coming together and then we just hit record and then two tools to have, a podcast that's ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that. So, in everything that we're doing, from our communication to documentation to moving around to, even interacting with people, the fact that we don't have to sit in the same room and do this podcast now, is something that was, COVID was a blessing and a curse. Let's just say that. Let's just say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, no, Brian, although adds a nice touch when you're actually in the same room with somebody, because of how I go about working, it's kind of like if I have to be in a room somewhere, it's like, oh my gosh, do I have to? I just want to sit in my little office and do my thing, do my recording, and hit play. That's what I want to do. So yeah, we have indeed come a far way, and we're just gonna move into adapting to the industry shifts that are happening. So the landscape of content marketing and media production is ever evolving, right? The only constant is change. How do you brands stay ahead of industry trends and also help your clients to adapt to these changes?
So for me, I am constantly on the lookout for, what's going on in industry. If you're gonna be an expert or at the top of your game, like you are always looking for ways to, or you should always be looking for ways to sharpen your skills, and put more tools, put new and improved tools in the toolbox. And one way, it would not, it's not possible for me to be sitting down all the time on the internet or going out and trying to find these things myself. So I for the most part, I automate a lot of that. So email newsletters, that's a big thing for me. So every morning and then sometimes in the evening, there are different industry newsletters that come in that I will read so that I know what's going on in the industry, who's making moves, what new things are happening, both locally and internationally. And then also, just interesting things that I could come up with. The tools that I use also give me updates. So I am an Adobe fanboy. I've been using Adobe products since I started this media production journey, and I've never wanted to move away. I've tried other products, yes. But they, in my opinion, Adobe is just all around the best. They connect well together, and so they always give you updates on what's going on. With their products, they give you updates on what's going on in industry. So that's also another thing. The tools that you use should also have some kind of updates feature. And then with how social media works now, one of the things that I do is I make sure to curate all the feeds that I am on. So even my personal feeds. So definitely for Binge Island, but even my personal feeds, the things that I consume online. I want to make sure, yes, there's news, which I kind of tone down on. I consume, I consume enough news that I need to, keep abreast of what's going on. But for the most part, if you look at my feed, you're gonna see, a lot of media tips. You're gonna see graphic stuff. You're gonna see video stuff. You're gonna see hacks. You're gonna see, tools. Like you're gonna see a lot of things that are related to my domain, my skill sets, and things that I also talk to people about and work with them on. Because social media and internet has now moved from, they move from a social graph where it's who you know and who you connected it to what they call the interest graph, right? It's, the more you show interest in a particular thing, the more of that thing they're going to show you. So I just keep showing interest in, media, in media stuff. I keep showing interest in the tools and they continue to supply me with more information on tools without me even having to go to look for it. So that's how I stay on top of trends. I try to automate as much of it as possible. I use the advantages of all of these tools as much as I can, and I try to learn. I allocate some time every week to actively go out and look for these trends. And by extension, you mentioned my clients. Once I improve and once Binge Island processes improve, it's an automatic pass down, to our clients. So an improvement in our service means we can improve and automatically improve the service in the delivery that we give to our clients and the quality of work that we give to our clients. Even the communication that we give. So that is how stay on top of trends, and we make sure that our clients also stay on top of trends.
All right. So the penultimate question, the question before the final one is so every entrepreneur faces challenge, and you pretty much alluded to that earlier with the Rocky Road situation. If you could share a pivotal moment in your journey, rather, a challenge and how you navigated through that, what would that be?
So I can go back to 2019. Right, so 2019 was a very rough year for me and for business. So for the bulk of that year, it was very dry. Like, there was no business there. I would get one-off gigs, and it's almost like nobody was spending money. Not even sure what was going on. And COVID hadn't hit yet because COVID hit 2020. So it was like everybody was drawing breaks, and I would apply to jobs, and I mean the same thing that goes on in the job market. That's going on in the job market. You apply to a job, you wait like 3 to 6 months, and you don't hear anything from anybody. And then, when you do call them back, they say, oh, we filled the role, or, we decided that we're not going to go with you. And they say, well, and that just kept happening, or you reach out to people, send a proposal, keep reaching out and just nothing, So, I mean, I'm, like for a good chunk of 2019, I'm like sitting down and like looking at the bank account like drop. Like, looking at the bank account drop, I'm looking at the fact that I'm sending off the tens and hundreds of messages and communications, resumes, and nothing is coming through. I'm doing everything that HR people and career people say, keep reaching out and keep doing. I'm talking to my parents, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, is there any way that you can reach out to anybody and make something happen? Just put me in the room and I will do the rest. And so it was a very rough period for me. And then around my birthday, October, later on in the year, I had done a final interview with one of the companies that I was at. That I was at before, and I walked into the interview, and I had this thing in my stomach. I was just like, "This, I'm gonna get this job." And this was really the start. I was getting the job tied over, like to really tie myself over because I was struggling, right? So I needed an income to be able to take care of bills, take care of rent, and eat, because we need food. And then I would grow after that. Like, I knew that I would like step up and like grow after that and relaunch and all of that. So I went in and I was doing the second interview. And I mean, it was the final interview, and thing in the pit of my stomach. I decided, listen, if I want this job, I have to take it. Like, I mean, this is my job. So I went in and I saw the other candidates, and I was like, no, they're not it. I was just very hard and fast. I'm gonna get this job. Long story short, later on that day, they called me back. And they told me that they want to hire me. They were giving me more than I had asked for. And then also, there was some other person that came with the job, and it was very satisfying. They wanted me to start the next week and all kind of stuff. So it was very fulfilling. The one thing that I would point out from that is that I did not stop. So I didn't give up and say, oh, nothing is working. I'm just going to stop. I almost did because that, fun fact about that interview, I almost never went to that interview because that was at a point. I mean, I was at such a low point that I was like, doesn't it even make sense to go to this interview, or does it even make sense to like try, gunning for another opportunity? Like I was sitting in the same coach I'm sitting across from right now, and I asked myself the question, boy, does it even make sense? And I was talking to my parents, and they said, listen, go, you never know. And I was like, all right, no problem. So, but pointing out, I didn't stop. I got out of myself, got out of my head, and I continued. And then I landed in job. It's been the same. So after that, after really looking back on that lesson, it's been the same thing where I just don't stop. I may need a break, and I may take a break, but I don't stop. You may go through something, like you may go through a low period, but if you don't stop, then nothing can stop you. And that's something that I learned in that period.
Yes, rest if you must, but do not quit. I love it. I love it. Brown, you are a fellow speaker with myself at the Grow Your Wealth Conference 2023.
Yeah.
What can attendees expect to hear from you? The in-person, the face-to-face is already maxed out, right? Sold out. So I know they have online spaces available. So pique the interest of those who would want to book online to attend. What can they expect to hear from you? And for those who have already booked too for in-person.
So, I know the recordings are going to be made available to everybody. So the topic that I'll be presenting on is marketing-driven wealth. Because everything, the Grow Your Wealth Conference is about investing and building wealth, building generational wealth. What you can expect from me is I'm going to show you, I'll take you through a roadmap of exactly how you can generate attention for your brand, use that attention and build some serious traction for your brand, and then take that traction and leverage it into actually making money, like actually making profits for your business. There's some other tidbits in there, a lot of points, a lot of very key points, foundational stuff, as well as some slightly advanced stuff, so that everybody can get a grasp. And I round it out with a fun case study that people can, enjoy at the end of the presentation. So it's really good stuff. I know that a lot of people tend to struggle. I've worked with a number of brands that have struggled with marketing, and after talking with them and just simplifying everything for them, things become a lot easier for the brand and for the efforts that they're putting into their marketing. So I know that attendees will definitely get value. Hope that they draw as much value as they can. Watch the video, 6-7 times, depending if they want to get as much value out of the presentation. So yeah, that is what you have to look forward to. Any of you listeners who are going, myself, Heneka will be there, Jermaine, Learn, Grow, Invest, and as well for Nate, going to be there. So,
awesome for us. Yes, we are excited. I am excited, and I'm looking forward to hearing you as well. So tell the listeners, you've piqued their interest. How might they reach in touch and get in touch with you, Brian, as well as Binge Island?
All right. So if you want to talk anything marketing, you can reach out to me at brian@bingeisland.com. That's BRIAN at bingeisland.com. And you can find me anywhere online at Ask Bri Lauren, AskBriLawren. And you just type it in and you will see me on any of the platforms.
Awesome sauce. And you had reached out to us and told us that you have some free consultation to give away to business owners. Just dive a little into that, and then we just wrap up the conversation right here.
Well, I'm still in the process of setting up the calendar, but any of the persons who signed up for the event, I am going to be giving away a free 30-minute consultation marketing, just to help you audit what you're doing, and then also put you on a path to streamlining what you're doing, whether it is working with Binge Island or giving you some tools that you can take on for yourself to start streamlining your workflow when it's marketing and seeing results, because that's another thing that's missing from a lot of the strategies, the results part of it.
There's a lot of doing, and if there's no result, then it's not making sense at all. All right. Thank you, Brian Lawrence of Binge Island. As we wrap this insightful conversation with, of course, Brian Lawrence, it's very, very clear that the fusion of technology and creativity isn't just a business strategy for him, it's a way of life. We got that. So from Binge Island's cutting-edge media productions to the Ubuntu Creative Arts Project's commitment to Nurturing artistic expression, Brian clearly exemplifies the transformative power of blending the analytical and the imaginative. So until next time, I invite you to stay curious and keep mastering the future. I am Heneka Watkis-Porter signing off. I want you to stay tuned, however, for more episodes as we continue to nurture your entrepreneurial spirit. And remember that your journey to success is really uniquely yours. For more information, visit my website at henekawatkisporter.com, and you'll find the show notes and links to that are related to today's episode. And connect with me on social media. I'm there, Heneka Watkis-Porter. And as I close, please affirm with me. Innovation knows no bounds when I embrace the duality of my skills and passions. Until next time, again, stay inspired and keep pushing those boundaries. Walk good.